This question asks, if a function f is continuous for all x, and if f has a relative max at -1, 4 and a relative min at 3, -2, which of the following must be true? We could graph the function to get an idea of what it looks like. So if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can plot -1, 4. That would be -1, 4 right here, and then 3, -2, which is 1, 2, 3, and -2. A max means it would have to look something. This could be an example of what it could look like. A max is there's nothing higher than that. It's not an absolute max, so there could be something. It could look something like this, that it goes up again and then down. But let's just assume it's this for now. So if we look at the questions, we can see question A says the graph of f has a point of inflection somewhere between x equals -1 and x equals 3. So a point of inflection is where the concavity changes. It goes either from concave down, like this, to concave up, or concave up to concave down. We can see that this happens in our one example. We can see this right here. So this could be a possible answer. We can see option B says the derivative of f of -1 is equal to 0. So -1 is right here, and the derivative of f, the slope at f is equal to 0. We can see in our graph right now, this could be the case because it's a horizontal line if we look at the tangent line across there. So this could be a possible answer as well. Option C says the graph of f has a horizontal asymptote. So that means a horizontal asymptote is basically as x approaches infinity, there's a horizontal line that it now approaches. This could happen, but it doesn't have to happen. So this is definitely wrong. Then option D says the graph of f has a horizontal tangent line at x equals 3. So that means it's also saying that x equals 3 has this horizontal line of a slope of 0, which is true for our function that we're looking at now. So this also could be a possible answer. And then E says the graph of f intersects both x-axes. We can see that there's a point at -1, 4 right here, and 3, -2 right here. To get to this point, they must have to go, any path has to go through the x, through the y-axis, and also through the x-axis, because they're both in different quadrants. This is in quadrant 2, and this is in quadrant 4. So this is almost definitely true. So we can pretty much say that's almost definitely true. So we have 4 answers right now. Let's look at another case. So let's draw another graph of what this could be. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll plot our points. -1, 4 is right here, and then 3, -2 is right here. The graph is continuous. They never said it's differentiable at every point. So what if our graph looks something like this? It was like a slope. It was just linear lines. Then let's review the options. Option A says the graph of f has a point of inflection somewhere between x equals -1 and x equals 3. For this, that's no longer the case. It doesn't go from up to down like it did in this function above. So we can now mark this as wrong. For B, it says the derivative of f of -1 is equal to 0. The derivative actually would not be defined at f is -1 because the left side and the right side are both approaching different slopes. As we can see, this one's going at a positive slope and this one's going at a negative slope. So we can now say this one is wrong. Then option D says the graph of f has a horizontal tangent line at x equals 3. That basically means the derivative at x equals 3 is going to be 0. But as we can see, this from the left side, it's a negative slope, and from the right side, it approaches a positive slope. So we can see that this is not the correct answer either. There's not any of that there. There's not a horizontal line there. So we can mark this as wrong. And then we go back to E. The graph of f intersects both axes. This this example does not say anything. Like, it does not make this answer wrong. It still has to go through the y-axis and the x-axis, because it's going from -1, a negative value of x, to a positive value of x, which means it has to go through the y-axis. And then it's going from a y value 4 to a negative value of y equals -2, which means it has to go through the x-axis. So we can say E is the correct answer.